Okay, for this one, we're in my bedroom. This is kind of weird. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Dave from Chase the Summit, and today we've got something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about something sleep related, which is equally as important as something like a GPS watch or a fitness tracker, because sleep is a big part of the equation when it comes to training and recovery. So if you're like me and listen to a lot of podcasts, you've probably heard about this product I'm about to talk about, because this is the 8 Sleep System. The 8 Sleep System is all over the place right now. You can see it marketed and targeted ads on Instagram and Facebook, or as sponsored segments in your favorite podcast. And all of that made me wonder if this product was actually any good or if it was just all hype. So for the purpose of science, I've been testing out the 8 Sleep System on my bed for over a month now, and both my wife and I have been sleeping on this thing every single night and testing it out. And spoiler, it is not what I expected. It's really good. So in this video today, I'm going to talk about what it's like to purchase the 8 Sleep System, what it's like to set it up on your bed, how difficult it is, what's involved, and my overall experience testing this thing over the past month. Before we get all the way into this video and talk about how much this thing costs, because it is very expensive, I do want to give you a quick disclaimer. 8 Sleep did reach out to me and send me this mattress cover for the purpose of making this video completely free. I did not pay for it. However, it's important to mention that this video is not sponsored. They didn't pay me any form of money to make this video. They have no creative input on this video, and everything I say in this video is going to be my honest and unbiased opinion. With that said, I do understand that this mattress cover is very expensive and this gift is a lot of money. I just want to be as transparent about that as I can, so do with that what you will. And on that topic, 8 Sleep did also provide me with a discount code that I can share with you, and that will save you some money if you are interested in picking this thing up, because like I said, it is very expensive. And if you're interested in that, check out the link in the description. I'll have the discount code down there as well. With that disclaimer out of the way, let's move right into the pricing on the 8 Sleep System, because I keep saying it, it's very expensive. This is the Pod 3 with the Perfect Fit system. This is the latest generation of this product, and it starts at $2,195 here in the USA, and it goes all the way up to $2,495 in the USA as well. So it's like $2,500. Now that price variance will depend on how big your bed is. If you've got a full-size bed, it's on the lower end of the spectrum. If you've got a king-size bed like me, it's going to be on that high side at $2,500. Unfortunately, the pricing topic doesn't just end there with that hefty price tag, because it is 2024 and everything has a subscription these days, including this bed cover. In order to use the 8 Sleep System, you do need an active subscription within the app on your phone, and that does come in at an additional $14.99 a month here in the USA, or $15 a month, and that's for the base subscription. Now, if you don't want to go to the enhanced subscription, that will cost you about $24 a month. And the only thing that enhanced subscription gives you is a longer warranty. Now that the cat's out of the bag with the price, I know what you're thinking, this is just way too expensive, but I do encourage you to wait to the end of this video before you make your mind up on that, because this product has been surprisingly interesting for me. Let's back up for a second and rewind back to what this product actually is, because if you've never heard of the 8 Sleep System and what it does, it's a very different kind of product. It's not really a water bed, and it's not really just a mattress cover. It's kind of a hybrid of both, because what it allows you to do is to adjust the temperature of the surface of your mattress in real time throughout the night, depending on what you're feeling. And on top of that, another really unique feature about the 8 Sleep System is that not only is the bed temperature adjusting throughout the night, it's actually got 2 different zones. So my wife typically sleeps on the left side of the bed, and I sleep on the right side of the bed. And we both have our individual zones of comfort, because I like to have a cooler surface to my bed, and my wife likes a nice warm bed. To make this all work, there's 2 major components to the 8 Sleep System. There's the mattress cover itself, and then there's the pod that sits on the floor next to your bed that provides the warm and cold water to adjust the temperature through a series of tubes and wires. After you open up the box, you'll notice there's a QR code right on the box that you can scan with your phone, and that will allow you to install the 8 Sleep app on your phone, which will guide you through the installation process. The first thing it will tell you to do is to put the mattress cover on the bed, obviously. And the nice thing about this mattress cover is it's essentially a fitted sheet. If I pull back the layers of my bed here, You can see that's the 8 Sleep system there. When you are installing the 8 Sleep mattress cover, the orientation is pretty important. And because of that, 8 Sleep does put a sticker in the top left corner to give you a guide on what way you have the mattress cover oriented. And there is a large series of tubes and wires that comes out of the center in the back of the bed. From there, all you got to do is fill up the reservoir tank in the pod itself. And you may have to do that multiple times if you've got a larger bed like me, like the king size bed here. I had to fill mine up about 2.5 times to get it to top out. And during that process, it takes about 15 minutes every time you fill it up to drain into the bed, and then you fill it up again and repeat the process until it's full. One thing to note during this stage of the process though, in the app I was reading the instructions and it told me just to use tap water to fill up the bed. However, when I did some Googling on Reddit, I noticed a lot of people suggested using distilled water with some hydrogen peroxide, and this is to prevent any bacteria from building up inside the mattress over time since it's going to be there for a while. So that's what I did. I used the distilled water with a couple tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide just to be safe. They don't recommend that, but I figured I just wanted a good insurance policy. So here you can see I've got the 8 Sleep app open on my phone. And as you can see, my bed is currently in maintenance mode, and you might be able to hear it whirling away in the background over there. And we'll talk about that sound in a minute. So right up top in the app, you've got a little diagram of your bed. And if it wasn't in maintenance mode, you would see that there's a left and right-hand side representing the 2 zones like I just talked about. Now, if I scroll down, you can see there's various tiles representing other things down here. First of all, we have the most obvious one, and that is the temperature tile. And if I jump in on that, you can see the bed is off right now. But if I wanted to turn it on, I'll turn it on just for example here. You can see that the bed is currently set to 0. And the way temperature works with the 8 Sleep system, it doesn't go by like Celsius or Fahrenheit. It's really just gauged on a 0 to -10 or +10 scale. But like I said before, 0 is sort of the baseline. That's going to be your neutral setting where it's kind of in the middle between hot and cold, but the bed is not actually off, if that makes sense. So obviously up top here on this dial is where you set up the temperature of the bed and your preference. And over the first few days of doing this, the bed will actually learn your habits throughout the night and try to adjust them automatically moving forward. Moving down to the bottom of the screen here, you can see there is additional settings, and these settings at the bottom of the screens are sort of like a segment in time throughout the night. So there's a now setting, which will change the temperature of the bed immediately at that point in time. Then there's early evening when you're first going to bed. Then there's late evening when you're in deep sleep, and then there's the morning time. So if I click down here, you can see that individually I can adjust these segments of time. So when I crawl into bed, if I want a nice cool bed, I can set that to -2, for example. Then in my early phase of sleep, I could set that to 0. And then if I want to be warmer in my deep sleep, I could bump that up to +2, for example. And then finally, moving over to the last segment, that's going to be the segment for the morning when I wake up. And you can do 2 things here. You can adjust the temperature for your morning time segment, but you can also set an alarm for the bed to wake you up. And this is one really unique feature of the 8 Sleep system, because this bed has a series of vibration motors inside the mattress cover that can actually wake you up in the morning without waking anybody else up, because no one else can hear it. Essentially, it starts out as like a low vibration that you can barely feel. And then over the course of time, it ramps up and keeps intensifying until you can feel it, and it actually will wake you up. Now, on top of the vibrating alarm on the bed, you can also adjust the temperature setting in the app to either be super cold or super hot, which will add some discomfort to that vibration and be a secondary means of waking you up if you are a heavy sleeper. Now, for me personally, I don't need that. I can set this at 0 or whatever, and the vibration alone will wake me up. Jumping over to the next tile, this is where things start to get pretty interesting, because as you can see, I've got a sleep fitness score, and last night I had a score of 95. And what this is basically sleep metrics coming directly from my mattress cover, which is pretty mind-blowing. Now, when I first heard about this, I thought there's no way a mattress cover can detect my HRV, my heart rate throughout the night, my sleep duration, and how comfortable I was while I was sleeping, but it actually does, and it does it somewhat accurately. I have no scientific way of measuring how accurate the 8 Sleep system is at picking up my sleep metrics, but when I compare the sleep metrics coming from the 8 Sleep app compared to my Garmin Forerunner 965 compared to my Oura Ring, all of the metrics actually do line up pretty favorably. For example, if I have a bad night of sleep like I did on Tuesday here, you can see my score here on Tuesday was a 64, which is fair, which is not great. I only got 5 hours and 43 minutes of sleep. My kid was not feeling well. They were in bed with us. I didn't get a lot of sleep. There was a lot of tossing and turning. And that score is also represented represented on my Garmin, my Oura Ring, the Polar watch I was wearing, and it all kind of looks pretty similar. But it's not just the sleep score at the top of the page that you get from the sleep metrics. You also get a sleep quality percentage, your routine percentage, time slept, and then you get sleep stages throughout the night. So this is your REM sleep, your deep sleep, your awake time, and that's all broken down on these graphs. Below that, you also get your average heart rate throughout the night, your HRV throughout the night, and your breathing rate. Now that we've talked about the app experience on my phone, let's get down to brass tacks and talk about the actual experience using this mattress cover. And did it actually work? Did it improve the quality of our sleep? I hate to say it, but yes. Yes, it really did. Let me premise this by saying before I received the Eat Sleep mattress cover, I was pretty skeptical of these products because of the way they're marketed. They're on every podcast. They're advertised all over the place on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And I've seen other products like this, like the fan you stick under your bed or the other water-filled mattress covers that all just looked a little bit gimmicky and like they wouldn't actually work. However, this one really works. So let's talk about our first night sleeping on the Eat Sleep mattress cover. We primed it up, we got it set up, we laid down, we went to bed, and I woke up about an hour later freezing because I thought, hey, I'm a hot sleeper. I should dial the temperature way down to be more comfortable. And I tell you what, this thing gets very cold. So lesson learned, after I woke up, I was very cold. I had to dial it back up in the app on my phone, and then it became much more comfortable. And then over the following few days, I really dialed things in, and the autopilot within the app took over and sort of started adjusting things for me to get me in my optimal range. And after about a week of using this mattress cover, I can fall into the deepest of deep sleep. It's hard to put into words. It really has changed the game with how both my wife and I have been sleeping lately. And to fast forward a little bit, we've been using this mattress cover for like a month and a half now. However, about a week ago, we actually did some travel. We packed up the kids. We went down to Florida. We went to Disney World. We did the whole thing down there. And to do that, we had to sleep in an Airbnb. And the thing I noticed right off the bat, after our first night of sleeping in an Airbnb, which was a very nice house with really nice beds, I missed the 8 Sleep system. It kind of ruined the whole travel and sleep experience for me, knowing that I had this thing at home and I couldn't bring it with me. I guess I could have, but that would have been a lot. Another thing to consider with the 8 Sleep system is that because you're maintaining the temperature of the surface of your bed, you don't really need to maintain the temperature of the room you're sleeping in. For example, we typically run a ceiling fan up here while we sleep because it can get pretty warm in here. But with this mattress cover, we haven't needed to do that. We've been able to cool down the bed itself and not need to worry about controlling the air in the room. And that also goes for air conditioning as well. I do think that the mattress cover could actually save on our electric bill over time because we won't need to run the air conditioner as much in the summertime, but I guess time will tell on that. Now that I've gone through our experience with the 8 Sleep mattress cover, I want to talk about what I like and what I don't like about it as sort of a wrap up to this whole video. Let's start with things I don't necessarily love about the 8 Sleep system. First off is going to be the price. At $2,500 for my king size mattress cover, that's a lot of money. And of course, if you're strapped for cash or you're on a budget, this is just a non-starter for you at that price point. Another thing I'll add to the do not like list is going to be the subscription cost, because I have subscription fatigue. The Oura Ring has subscription, the bed has subscription, Netflix, Hulu, everything's a subscription these days. And I guess it's to be expected, but at $2,500 for the product itself, I was kind of hoping we'd get a free app as well, but that's not the case on this one. Another thing I'll add to the do not like list is going to be the fact that you cannot wash the 8 Sleep mattress cover. And we have 4 young kids, we have a dog. Just imagine all the possibilities with fluids and food and all kinds of other things that could end up on this mattress cover. And in that event, we'd be kind of out of luck. That's all to say, if you do end up purchasing the 8 Sleep system, I do recommend getting an additional mattress cover to go over the 8 Sleep mattress cover, so if you do spill something, it doesn't get down into the fibers of the mattress cover. Another minor thing I'll add to the do not like list is the sound. So the pod sitting next to the bed does emit a sound when it's pumping water through the mattress cover. It's not very loud, but in a quiet room when you're trying to sleep, you do hear it. It's sort of a whirling sound. Sometimes there's some clicking. You can hear like bubbles of water and things like that coming from it. It's not that annoying, but I think if you're sensitive to sound, it could be an issue for you. The nice thing about the pod though is it does come with a pretty long hose. The king size version I have here had like a 10-foot hose on it, and that was good enough to get it further away from my bed to try to reduce that noise a little bit. Just know it does make noise. It's not terrible, but it is there. With the cons or the do not like list out of the way, let's talk about the things that I do like. And I think there's one major thing that I do like, and it's just that it's made both my wife and I sleep much better every single day of the week. And I feel like that's just the biggest thing about this mattress cover. It's been kind of a game changer. I've already talked about it at length, but the quality of our sleep because of this thing has gone through the roof. And honestly, because of the 8 Sleep mattress cover, I kind of dread traveling now, like sleeping in hotels and Airbnbs. I'll also add on the like list that the setup process was very easy. The installation was very easy. The app experience is really good. It's well polished, it's well laid out. And I guess that brings us to the end of this video. And now it's time to answer the question, should you get an 8 Sleep mattress cover? Well, that's really going to depend on a couple of different things. First of all, do you have trouble sleeping right now on what you sleep on? Do you have thermal regulation issues with your body and the environment you're sleeping in? Then this might be a great solution for you. The other thing to consider though, is that it's super expensive. And I know this is not a product for everybody. I wish it could be a product for everybody because honestly, it's been a game changer in our house and I think it could be for you as well. But I know not everybody wants to spend $2,500 on a mattress cover and then $15 a month forever to make it work. Now, even though they are not sold in stores and you can't just go try one out, they do have a really good money back guarantee. So if you do buy an 8 Sleep system, and you could sleep on it for up to 30 days and then make up your mind whether or not you want to keep it. In summary, I've been really surprised by the 8 Sleep mattress cover and how it's changed both my wife and I's sleeping habits for the better. And now I want to hear from you. Do you have an 8 Sleep mattress cover? Have you tried one of these things? Are you thinking about it? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you. And while you're down there, go down and check out the links in the description if you're planning on picking up an 8 Sleep mattress cover. Like I said, I do have a discount code available down there that will save you a couple of bucks. And on top of that, check out all the other links in the description down below for my podcast, all my social media accounts, and of course my website where you can get a sweet t-shirt like this. And with that, that's all I've got for this one. Hopefully you found it useful, and if you did, please consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel down below so you don't miss more videos from me in the future. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. That's it. Bye.